to the county seat to attend court, and nothing would do old Jim Lawson, but he must go along. He said there wasn't much doing around Hum, and he'd go down to county seat with me, and maybe he could get a job on the jury, seeing as how I had a job being a witness. Well, we got down there, and I said, Jim, where are we going to stop at? And Jim says, well, now, I don't know. I ain't been down here in quite a spell, but I got a friend here's got a hotel. His name is Bug. Let's go over to the Bug House. Gosh, Jim was just crazy to get into the Bug House. Well, we went over there, and Jim introduced me to Mr. Bug and Lady Bug and Miss Bug and all the little bugs. While they showed us up to a room, made us comfortable, and Jim got to looking around. He says, that's a pretty good bed, Bug. Well, it was getting a little mite chilly for that early in the fall, and I said, I guess we'll have to have a fire, Bug. Well, after that, we went down the dining room to eat supper and got to eating, and Jim says, I'm pretty hungry. I guess I'll have another potato, Bug. Well, I was a little thirsty, so I said, guess I'll have another glass of water, Bug. Well, after supper was over, Bug was out in the yard chopping up kindling for the next morning, and up come a thunderstorm. It got to thundering and lightning, and Jim went out and says, I guess you better come in or you'll get struck by lightning, Bug. Well, he took a tumble, Bug did, and come into the house, and we sat around till bedtime and went up to bed, and I heard a noise out in the hall, and I looked out, and gosh, there was a hired girl kissing Bug. And I just come to the conclusion he was a pretty fly old Bug. Well, next morning I went over to the courthouse, and they put me on the witness stand, but lawyer said he couldn't accept my testimony because he heard that I had just got out of the Bug House. Well, I got ready to go back home. I went over to the hotel after Jim, and sheriff was there, and he said the way Jim had been carrying on, he guessed he'd keep him in the Bug House.